Hello everyone, this is Daniel with DirectorySubmissionReview.com. Thank you for joining us for our review of our top ranked directory submission software, Submit Eaze. This is part one of a two-part series. In this part, we'll be going over a basic overview of Submit Eaze and a little bit of an instruction on how you would go about using it. And in part two, we'll be going over the strengths and weaknesses of Submit Eaze. With that, let's get started. First thing I wanted to point out to you here in this top left corner is the two modes available to you for directory submission. There is our all-time favorite turbo submission, and then there's also the standard browser submission. We'll keep it on that for now. Down below that, you will choose the project you want to work with. Underneath that is where you'll find most of the functionality of Submit Eaze. You can see that this is where you go to add a new project, to edit your projects, to delete your projects, to work with the directories. This is where you'll be doing most of your managing of your projects themselves. On the right is where we see a preview of the particular directory we're submitting to at the time. Above that, we can see some of the navigation options, the autofill option, a few other options that make Submit Eaze really nice and easy to work with. Jumping back to the left side is where we find the list of directories. We can see that we can filter them by Submit Eaze's standards website directories or by plugging in our own custom website directories. If we're going to be going with Submit Eaze's website directories, we're also given the option of choosing based on categories, and we're given the option of choosing free submission, paid submission, reciprocal, and so on. If we keep it at free submission and go down here and click on category information, we get the total count of available free directories in some Eaze that come pre-built with it, and we see that there are a total of about 1,400. And if we go over to paid, we see there's a total of about 800 or so. Really nice option to see how many directories are actually in there. Down below is where we'll see the list of directories, and we can sort them by directory name, by directory status, and by page rank. We're also given the option just below that of adding new categories, adding a new directory, exporting a submission report if we have just done a recent submission. And then these features here on the right, these four buttons, are used to update the current directories. So with that, let's move on to actually submitting a website to these directories. We'll go into Turbo Submitter. One thing you will notice about Turbo Submitter, although it is an awesome feature to have, and it cuts your submission time, it cuts it to a fraction of what it normally is. You're only able to submit to 1,100 free directories compared to the 1,400 directories you're able to submit to in the standard browser mode. Just a little side note for you. So let's get started. The first thing you want to do is add a new project. Again, I'll be using a cheesecake recipe website as a model for this. So the first thing you want to do is name it. Then you want to give it your anchor text. These are the words that are going to be used as links when people come to the directory and want to link to your site. And we'll do recipe. Now let's add some description text. I've gone ahead and pre-typed that for you. So we'll add that. We'll add this and just add a little bit at the end just to make it a little quicker for you. And there we are. Next thing you want to do is enter your URL. Keywords. first name, last name, email address, reciprocal URL if you are going to provide a link from your website to the directory, which we won't be doing. Your username and a password. Then you want to also input a list of categories as the software will go through, see the available categories, and choose the best category for you. Autofill page on load check. And let's go ahead and save the project settings. So with that, we're also given the other options of going through here and setting some configuration in terms of autofill setting, link directory settings. We won't be doing that at this time, but you can have a glance at that later. So with Turbo Submitter selected and 101 cheesecake recipes, let's get started on submitting our website. When we click the first directory on the list, which is Zoom directory, given a page rank of 5, you can see on the right side that Eaze has gone ahead and autofilled everything for us, which is great. The first thing we can see that it has filled for us is the category of the website. It's put us under business, health, and beauty, which isn't really the scope of the website. Let's browse to see what else there is available for us. Shopping health is a little bit closer. We can go ahead and leave it at that. It has pre-filled the title, one of the 3 titles that we typed in, the URL. It's entered my name, email address, and it's entered one of 3 descriptions that we gave it. So really the only thing that we need to do, and the only thing that is keeping this from being a fully automatic submission system, is that we need to go through and enter a CAPTCHA code for almost every one of the directories. We'll go ahead and leave automatically move into the next directory checked, and automatically set directory as autofill, and we'll click submit. So what it does is it has submitted to Zoom directory. You can see the status here. It's submitting, submitted, and it has moved us down to the next directory. So what you need to do once it's moved you to the next directory is do the exact same thing you did with Zoom directory. Make sure everything is filled in correctly and hit submit. The next category, same thing. Make sure everything is filled in correctly. Enter a CAPTCHA code and hit submit. Voila, it's that easy. Sometimes you might be given an error. This is due to the fact that some fields might be empty, or your CAPTCHA code was entered incorrectly. So you want to go see, like on hit web directory, enter the CAPTCHA code incorrectly. So you want to go back in and check these so you don't lose any submissions. But that is the basis of Eaze. It achieved our top ranking 5 out of 5 stars for pretty obvious reasons. It is probably the best directory submission software out there on the market, in our opinion. And we hope that you will join us for video 2, where we go over the strengths and weaknesses of Eaze, where you will see why we have given it a ranking of 5.